Man, I just hope Mike Tyson doesn't get hurt. If Jake Paul goes hard on him, then I think, he has a chance of hurting Mike in a bad way. But
Mike is in shape enough to go the rounds. He probably could put Jake out at any time. But of course, being 58, 59, how old he is, his timing ain't the same. So it's quicker for him to go get it over with fast than it is to wait a long time, because if Jake get in and get his rhythm, then he can get the momentum and can be problematic for Mike down the line.
Boxing experts have revealed their picks for the intense fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul on November 15th. Jake Paul gave Mike Tyson a stern warning when he said that he will end the former legend and become the new face of boxing. Many people underestimate Jake Paul's abilities since he is a content producer and likes to have fun. But Paul disclosed that people would recognize him as a real killer when he faces Mike Tyson on November 15th.
Yeah, 1000%. People just think I'm this nice, crazy, smiley social media content creator. I like to have fun. I've always been the class clown, but I'm a killer. This is what I was bred to do. This is my destiny. On November 15th, I will stop him and become the face of boxing.
Furthermore, Tyson stated that he will defeat the Disney kid Jake Paul and become the world's top champion. Entertainment and boxing is Mike's lifeline, and he enjoys giving his followers a good show. He is motivated to battle again on November 15th by his desire to put a stop to the problem child.
Top 10 records, you still own at least 5 of those numbers.
This is number 1 now. This is number 1. Everybody, Florida, this is number 1 now. No one can beat me. I'm the best right now in all the drawers right now.
However, Oscar De La Hoya revealed that Jake Paul, who has jumped to heavyweight, will be extremely strong on November 15th. De La Hoya is cheering for Mike Tyson because he knows that if he hits Jake with a good blow, it will be game over for him.
Jake Paul, I guess he gained a lot of muscle lately. He's gonna be strong up there, so just be careful, Tyson. But then again, Mike Tyson landing 1 punch, he can end it all.
Mike Tyson revealed that he intends to unleash his beast mode on Paul, so Jake Paul shouldn't be concerned about running in the ring, rather take his shots like a boss. Tyson said that he would put all his focus into fighting Paul like a younger opponent, and Jake would lose the match if he can catch him with some good blows.
He ain't got to worry about fighting me.
Worried about fighting.
You see his sparring session where the guy faked being knocked down?
Yes,
that
I saw
was
that.
beautiful. He took a fall. He took a dive.
That inside fighting, Mike, with those hands.
Moreover, Jake Paul received some encouragement from Mike Tyson's old coach, Teddy Atlas, who stated that Jake Paul is fighting Tyson in order to establish his reputation. According to Atlas, Jake might be transforming the sport for the fans and establishing a promotional business in the process.
Jake Paul, he's on the way to building a legitimate boxing career. He's having real fights.
Part of it is what it's been from the beginning, trying to be the best fighter he can be and see where that takes him. At the same time, building a promotional company, maybe changing the sport a little bit in his mind too.
Yeah, I think at the core he's a good person, and I wouldn't be surprised if part of his motivation for putting on this fight.
Roy Jones Jr. also revealed that Jake Paul would take over if he became at ease with Tyson in the ring. According to Roy, Tyson should end the game as soon as possible to avoid giving Jake any opportunity to react. Additionally, Andre Ward revealed that Mike Tyson doesn't require assistance in the ring, but if Jake succeeds in clipping Mike, he will have an issue with Paul because Tyson and Roy Jones are Andre's idols.
If Jake ain't got nothing else, he got a right hand.
Of course he does.
He ain't got nothing else, he got a right hand.
That's why I say if you let him go get comfortable, he gonna become dangerous.
Yeah. But I told Mike, I was like, man, I know you don't need no help, man. I said, but y'all like my legends, man. Guys, I came up watching.
Right.
I said, Jake go in there tripping, man. If something happened, man, I'm gonna have to holler at Jake, because I ain't gonna appreciate that.
Exactly right.
On the other hand, Jake Paul continues to train extra hard for his fight with Tyson, and his heavyweight physique looks in top shape to end a fighter who is close to his grandfather's age.
Don't charge at me, Tyson.
Moreover, Lennox Lewis commented that it may be hard to believe that Tyson can throw punches and dodge attacks at the age of 60. However, Lewis knows about Tyson's power firsthand and is convinced that Mike Tyson can hold his own in the fight and take over the problem child.
It's a task, You know, it's hard to box at when you're that old, moving around the ring, throwing punches, getting punches thrown at you.
Bam Rodriguez was heavily concerned for Mike's safety and didn't think that he could go up against Jake Paul. He shared that if Mike catches Jake Paul and secures a knockout, then he would be the best boxer in the world past his prime.
I think. I just hope Mike Tyson doesn't get hurt. If Jake Paul goes hard on him, then I think, he has a chance of hurting Mike in a bad way. But I hope that doesn't happen. I hope they just, take it easy on each other. But it's a cool fight overall.
If Mike knocks him out, greatest win of all time?
Not the greatest, but it's a big win for Mike.
Roy Jones Jr. mentioned that when he faced Mike Tyson in 2020, both fighters were older but had extensive experience in the ring. Jones believes that, despite being 58, Tyson's years of boxing will give him a substantial edge over Jake Paul. Jones feels Tyson's depth of experience alone could lead him to victory.
When you found out, because you've been in the ring with Iron Mike not too long ago, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. When you found out Mike Tyson had agreed this fight, what was your initial view on that?
Well, I felt like it was for him a much safer fight than fighters one like myself, because for me, it's like, we both older, but we both know the game. Jake is learning the game, so it's a little bit easier to try to take a chance with a guy who's learning the game.
Frank Warren voiced his concerns for Mike Tyson's health in his bout with Jake Paul. He shared that boxing is not for the 60-year-olds, even though he acknowledged Jake Paul as a good promoter and entertainer.
Yeah, made my opinion made. I don't think people that age should be fighting, but as long as he's medically fit and he's found fit to box, that's his choice. And Jake, I've got a lot of respect for him. And Nikita, he's a business partner. They're very shrewd guys. And the fight's on. Whatever I say is not going to make any difference to that. But, boxing's not for 60-year-old guys.
TV personality Adi Oladipo admires Mike Tyson as a legendary figure in boxing, yet he feels Tyson shouldn't be stepping into the ring with Jake Paul. Adi pointed out that Tyson's last professional fight was in 2005, during which he performed poorly, and his speed and agility have noticeably declined with age.
I don't want to dig out Mike too much, just because I'm a huge fan of Mike Tyson, and I got to love and got into the sport because of Mike Tyson. But Mike Tyson at 58 years of age shouldn't be fighting Jake Paul. He's not had a professional fight since 2005. He had that
when he looked terrible.
He looked awful. He looked awful. And then he had this fight of sorts with Roy Jones Jr. 4 years ago, and I think we all saw in that he slowed down.
Brendan Schaub shared his thoughts on the Tyson versus Paul fight, discussing potential outcomes where either fighter could face a loss. He suggested that there are scenarios where Tyson might lose due to his age or physical limitations, and on the flip side, Jake Paul might also be at risk given Tyson's skill and experience. Schaub mentioned a no-decision outcome as well, which would be particularly problematic for Netflix.
I love Mike Tyson, love Jake. I hope it crushes, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out the upside to this. Let's go through the scenario here. If you're Jake, so you knock him out, horrible, dude. What the just beat up an old man. You get knocked out, they told you this guy's a joke. You got beat up by a 58-year-old. The third scenario here is it goes to decision. That's a disaster and nobody's coming back. That's a disaster business-wise for Netflix. It's a disaster for Jake Paul. What? Went to decision with 58-year-old Mike Tyson. The only person who wins is not Netflix, not Jake Paul. Mike Tyson wins. He can do no wrong. He gets knocked out. He's 58. Still getting paid. He beats Jake Paul. Yeah, all the old guys are like, yeah, daddy. Goes to decision, Mike Tyson wins. For Netflix, dude, I don't know. Let's say Mike Tyson wins. What are you going to do? What's next? Mike Tyson and then Logan Paul to revenge his brother? And then they Mike Tyson, KSI? That's the business model? Okay.
Bernard Hopkins expressed disappointment about seeing an older Mike Tyson take on the much younger Jake Paul. Hopkins emphasized that Tyson is a true boxing legend, while he sees Paul as more of a gimmick fighter who has yet to prove himself in serious competition. Hopkins believes that for Paul to earn genuine respect, he would need to face boxers closer to his own age, rather than relying on the spectacle of fighting much older opponents like Tyson.
Is it because of the Jay? I look at Mike, it's like I look at him different.
Floyd Mayweather supported Jake Paul's challenge of taking on Mike Tyson and shared that it's good for boxing as a sport. However, Mayweather pointed out that if he goes up against a real boxer, then it would end his career in a flash.
Well, I mean, as of right now, for what he's doing, it's good for what he's doing. But once he
fights a real fighter.
Jake Paul's previous opponent, Tyron Woodley, offered an interesting perspective on the upcoming November 15th fight between Paul and Mike Tyson. Despite Tyson being nearly 60 years old, Woodley believes the fight is still well matched. He noted that Tyson's reputation as a devastating knockout artist in his prime would have intimidated nearly any opponent, making him one of the most feared boxers.
Fight coming up, Jake Paul, and also the Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Who do you think has this one right here? I mean, who do you have your money on?
It's a very even fight, to be honest. It's even because of the age of Mike Tyson.
Okay.
I think it's an even fight because of the age of Mike Tyson. He's completely, obviously, out of his prime. When in his prime, most of his fights were almost attempted murder. So literally, Jake wouldn't have stood a chance. Nobody would even commission or sanction a fight.
Furthermore, Adam Smith shared that Jake Paul's versus Mike Tyson is very different from when Logan Paul fought KSI, since that was more of influencer boxing, and this is a real boxing match. Smith complimented Mike Tyson and acknowledged him as a legend.
But look, I was there when Logan Paul fought KSI, and we took it for what it was. It was entertaining. It was great. The two guys, the two YouTubers, so much fun being around them. This is a different one. Mike Tyson's a legend, and I get what Eddie Hearn says about the fact that, we remember him for what he was. But also Mike says if he can fight, he should be able to, and, he wants this.
On the other hand, Mike Tyson's fitness coach gave Jake Paul a brutal warning as he trains Tyson for his fight with Paul.
Movement's great, agility is great.
13, 14, breathe.
Conditioning is amazing, power is unbelievable.
Furthermore, Jake Paul continued to troll Tyson by dancing like Donald Trump while lifting a heavy bag in his workout. Roy Jones Jr. recently shared his thoughts and advice for Mike Tyson's upcoming fight against Jake Paul, offering insights based on his own experience facing Tyson. Having personally felt the impact of Tyson's powerful punches, Jones believes Tyson has a path to victory, but stresses that he should aim to end the fight swiftly. He advised that Tyson's best chance would be to come out strong, using his intensity to try to finish the match as early as possible before fatigue or age becomes a factor.
Mike is in shape enough to go the rounds. He probably could put Jake out at any time, but of course, being 58, 59, how old he is, his timing ain't the same. So it's quicker for him to go get it over with fast than it is to wait a long time, because if Jake get in and get his rhythm, then he can get the momentum and can be problematic for Mike down the line.
Mike Tyson expressed amazement at the opportunity to fight in front of a massive audience of 97,000 fans at the age of 58, calling it crazy. He acknowledged that such a moment felt nearly impossible at his age. Reflecting on the reality that most fighters take on their biggest bouts in their prime, Tyson shared that he still finds great satisfaction in the attention he receives each time he steps into the ring.
58 years old, I'm fighting the biggest fight of my life. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? You're supposed to fight the biggest fight of your life when you're in your 20s and stuff.
Is it the actual football stadium?
Yeah. 90-something thousand, right?
Yeah. Not only will we be watching, I know the world will be watching.
That's what I thrive on, the world watching me perform.
Fight commentator Joe Rogan stated that he would prefer not to watch an old man face a younger opponent like Jake Paul. Rogan believes that Tyson may have the energy to beat the young YouTuber. He further went on to say that 58 years old is not as old as it was in the 1990s.
What do you think of Tyson and Jake?
I wish it wasn't a thing. I wish it wasn't a thing where a 58-year-old guy was going to fight a 28-year-old. I fully support his desire to do it. He's not going to live forever. Maybe he wants one more shot at it. Maybe his body can do one more fight. He looks great on the mitts. Oh,
Yeah.
I can look good on the mitts.
Yeah.
What you want to see is him sparring. You want to see him hitting the bag for multiple rounds. I want to see how your feet move. I want to see what it looks like if you're off balance when you're throwing combinations. He's 58, I support him. 58 today is not 58 when I was 21. Conventional wisdom would say this is a terrible fight.
Brendan Schaub suggested that the upcoming fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson appears more like a promotional spectacle than a genuine boxing match. He argued that, realistically, a 58-year-old Tyson stands little chance of beating a 27-year-old Paul. Schaub speculated that Netflix might have crafted this matchup strategically, potentially planning to stretch the rivalry into multiple bouts.
I like Mike. There's just no appetite for this. It just doesn't make sense. The other thing is Mike having to pull out because of ulcers, like that f***ed it all up. Jake's team's brilliant, so maybe it's a Trojan horse, like I've said before. Hey, just get this across, we'll get the views, and then they're gonna sign 3 fights, some sort of deal, or against the UFC. I don't know. I don't see the upside. I fancy myself a marker. I don't get how you're gonna twist this one where it's compelling. You wanna get people intrigued with this fight? Make it bare knuckle. Like, oh, Jake gets hit with a bare knuckle. Mike Tyson, this thing's over. And I saw Mike Tyson on an interview with Henry Cejudo. He's like, what is age? They tell you you're that old, but I don't feel 58. You're like, oh, okay, this is it. Then you're 58.
Dana White had serious concerns for Mike Tyson's health, since he is doing the impossible by going up against an opponent who is 3 decades younger than him. White doesn't like that Paul is going up against an old and out-of-prime Mike Tyson, who is facing ulcer issues.
Have you spoken to him about this one?
He gets mad when I do this, but Mike's 60, man. I don't know. What do you guys think about it? Who gives a shit what I think? It's not my fight. I love Mike Tyson, you know, personally as a friend, and he's one of my favorite athletes of all time. I don't know. Let's see what he can go in there and put together a training camp and come in, and you know, I don't like to see guys fighting it. Be a 31-year age difference.
Fitness influencer Mike Rashid is confident that Jake Paul stands no chance against Mike Tyson. Rashid shared his admiration for Tyson, asserting that he would emerge victorious. Rashid's stance highlights his belief in Tyson's unmatched legacy and dominance in boxing.
Mike Tyson loses to Jake Paul. There is no possible chance in this universe or the parallel universe or the metaverse that it is possible that Jake Paul will beat Mike Tyson. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. If Jake Paul beats Mike Tyson, I will not talk for 3 months. I'll fight. I want to fight Jake Paul. I would beat Jake Paul without training. I'm sure somebody in his camp is watching this. Tell them. Nothing.
Dana White shared his thoughts on the upcoming fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul, focusing on Tyson's strategy. He believes that if Tyson doesn't take an aggressive approach and dominate Paul in the first round, it might cost him the match. Meanwhile, Jake Paul disrespected Mike Tyson by commenting that he is not afraid and doesn't even care about Tyson's training, since he is doing the same thing.
Oh, Jake, did you see Mike Tyson
dropping
his sparring partner?
I was talking about.
I was talking about. No, I saw it, and I don't give a. Sure, he's looking good. Sure, he's looking all of that. Oh, he's dropping people. He's fast. So the am I. People want the truth.
I don't think people want you to kill Mike Tyson.
Okay.
Jake Paul has shared several videos on his social media showcasing his heavyweight physique and athletic skills. While many of these videos are comedic and lighthearted, some highlight his serious commitment to defeating the former legend, Iron Mike Tyson.
Sir.
UFC fighter Holly Holm remarked that the bout is quite unusual, highlighting that both fighters are doing what they love most, which is fighting in front of a packed stadium. Holly admires Mike Tyson's determination to win, noting that despite his age, his experience will help him deliver the best and most entertaining performance.
I think it's awesome. You only live once, and it's not like he hasn't been in there. He knows exactly what it takes to get in there. He knows what a fight is, and I love that he still has this passion that he wants to put out there, and I'm excited to watch him. I mean, he's still, he definitely is like, he's the fastest and most powerful at...
Former UFC fighter Michael Bisping shunned Paul for taking on an old and out-of-form Mike Tyson. Bisping said that Jake has made a terrible move by going up against an opponent who has long been out of his prime.
I'll do here. This is a lose-lose situation. It's not Jake taking a risk. It's Jake being moronic. That's what this is, because if he beats Mike Tyson, God forbid he even knocks out Mike Tyson.
Jorge Masvidal decided to remain neutral on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight, acknowledging that there are many uncertainties surrounding the match. He expressed concerns for Tyson due to his age, but chose not to make any predictions, highlighting that there are several unknowns regarding how Tyson will perform against Paul.
Man, I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. About that fight, it's just so hard to call it. You know, I don't know Mike's. But he's 60 years old, right? Something like that. Like, damn, that's an old ass dude, bro. You know, and I'm not trying to rank on Jake, because if you're getting the bag for, you know, what could you do? It's just, I heard it's with 16 ounces, then I heard it's not with I don't know, there's so many things going on with it. I don't know what to say if it's an exhibition.
Do you think Mike Tyson can defeat Jake Paul? Will Tyson's stamina be able to match Jake Paul's youthful power? We would love to hear your thoughts. Let us know in the comments section below and subscribe for more content like this.